Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulihil Kareem. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. My dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Inshallah, we'll continue with another dua from our Ramadan series, Prophetic Prayers in the Quran. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. قالوا ربنا أفرغ علينا صبرا وثبت أقدامنا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. They said, Our Lord, pour down patience on us and strengthen our foothold and support us against the faithless people. Allah describes the story of Talut or Saul and Prophet David in Surah Al-Baqarah. Upon the request of Israelites to have a king so that they can face the enemies led by Jalut or Goliath, their prophet Samuel alayhi shared with them that Allah has appointed Talut to be their king. Talut was poor, and there was resistance by Israeli tribes. But as Quran describes, Prophet Samuel told them, Allah has chosen him over you and has increased him in knowledge and stature. وَزَادَهُ بَسْطَةً فِي الْعِلْمِ وَالْجِسْمِ. Allah bestows his kingdom upon whomever he wills. وَاللَّهُ يُؤْتِي مُلْكَهُ مَن يَشَاءُ. And as a proof of his kingship, a miracle occurs. An ark comes from heavens with remnants left by house of Moses and Harun, borne by angels. So Talut sets out with his people to face the enemy Jalut or Goliath. And he warns them that Allah will test you at the stream. He tells his Bani Israel army members that you will be tested at the stream, so don't drink from it. But most drank from it except a few. So they don't continue. So he was left with a small army of true believers with him to face this very large army. They started worrying about this, that we have no power this day to fight against Jalut's big army. But those who had firm belief that they will meet Allah said, How often has a small company, a small army, has overcome a big company that is a large army by Allah's will? And Allah is with those who are patient. So they advanced against the army of Goliath, and that's when they prayed this dua. ربنا أفرغ علينا صبرا وثبت أقدامنا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. Our Lord, pour down patience on us and strengthen our foothold and support us against the faithless people. So Allah supports them, and the next ayah in the Quran describes how Prophet Dawood alayhi salam, who was very young at the time, fought Goliath and killed him, which destroyed the morale of his army. And Israelites were given the victory by Allah. And due to Prophet Dawood's courage, he was chosen the next king, and as we know, also a prophet. He was the first given both kingdom and prophethood. To have a victory, we learn that not only courage is required, but patience is required too. The believers asked Allah for patience and to strengthen the few of them against a mighty army. Imam Bukhari narrates from Prophet's companion Al-Bara bin Azib, who said, We, the companion of Prophet ﷺ, were discussing that the number of those who attended Badr battle was the same number of those who participated with the Talut crossing the river, and they did not exceed more than 300 and few people, confirming the Sunnatullah again in Badr that a small company, small army overcame a big company by Allah's will. How this dua applies to us. The amazing courage that was shown by the believers in the ayah is called tawakkul ala Allah, reliance on Allah. If the believers have firm belief that they will meet Allah, the reliance on Allah increases. The courage comes to face any difficulty, and if asked for patience and firm strength, Allah provides the help in ways we can't imagine. This is the way of Allah, Sunnah of Allah. A very similar scenario occurred in the Battle of Uhud too. Muslims are much fewer in number than the Quraysh and their large army. And people who knew it were warning the Muslim to fear them. But as Allah describes in Surah Al Imran, that it rather increased their faith, and they said, Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakil. Allah is enough for us. He is the excellent protector. This prayer, Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakil, and the prayer of Saul's army, Rabbana frig alayna sabram wa thabbit aqdamana, should be prayed by believers whenever they face time of danger. This doesn't have to be a war situation. It can be repudiation or other threats by non believers, or any other kind of calamity or severe dangers. Allah's help will arrive. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.